We have a new matchup made for the UFC 290 card, and it is indeed Sean Brady versus Jack Della Maddalena. This is a massive fight inside the welterweight division. Both of these guys are kind of going to go at it. This is a really big test for Jack Della Maddalena. He's kind of rising up in the welterweight division rather quickly, and this is a very important matchup. I guess we'll kind of get into the early prediction and breakdown here. Let me know who you guys think will win in the comments below. Let's get right into it. We have Sean Brady versus Jack Della Maddalena. Sean Brady 15-1. Jack Della Maddalena 14-2. Sean Brady only 30 years old. Jack Della Maddalena 26 years old. So he's still very, very young. By the time this fight happens, he'll still be 26, I think. I'd like to say. Well, it is April, so July. So maybe he'll be closer to 27 at that point. Jack Della Maddalena will be 1 inch taller. This is obviously in the 170-pound weight division. Jack Della Maddalena will have a half-inch reach advantage and a half-inch leg reach advantage in this matchup. Sean Brady, his last couple matchups, he had a loss to Bilal Muhammad, got standing TKO'd. Didn't really go for too many takedowns. I think he went only for like a couple. They both got stubbed. Bilal Muhammad had a really good takedown defense in general, but he did get standing TKO'd. I thought he was winning that fight until he basically wasn't. I thought he was landing the better shots in the first and second rounds, and then he just ended up getting caught on the feet by Bilal Muhammad, which isn't a good look. Let's be real. Bilal Muhammad doesn't really have the best stand-up. And he's one of those guys where he kind of has a reputation of being boring and not finishing people. So it was kind of a rough loss for Sean Brady, but that is his first loss of his entire career. So we'll see what happens after that. He beat Michael Chiesa. There was kind of, I think it was in the third round where he kind of just got caught. It was getting a little messy in there, but he still ended up getting the decision in that matchup. Beat Jake Matthews by an arm triangle, which, depending on how you looked at that fight, maybe about a year ago, that was an amazing win because Jake Matthews actually looked pretty good. But Jake Matthews now losing to Semmelsberger, or getting destroyed by Semmelsberger. It didn't really look too great there. We'll see how he responds. And then beat Christian Aguilera with a guillotine choke. I believe that was a one-arm guillotine. Sean Brady does have a couple one-arm guillotines in his career. I think he has one in CFFC. I think he has one in the UFC as well. It's super impressive. A very strong dude, a super strong dude, especially in that division. For Jack Della Maddalena, his last couple matchups, rear naked choke win over Randy Brown. He knocked him down. Randy Brown has an incredible reach advantage, so this was a pretty impressive to see him pretty much knock him out with that big of a reach advantage. It was pretty insane. And beat Danny Roberts by KO. Beat Ramazan Amid by KO, body shot, I believe. Beat Pete Rodriguez with counter left, and then beat Angelusas by decision on the Contender Series. So pretty impressive wins coming into this fight in general. I think he's pretty much dominated a lot of the fights he's been in. He has been in a couple problematic situations, I'd say. In the Ramazan Amid fight, he was shot on with the takedown. I believe Ramazan Amid moved to the back to get like a body lock. He kind of like tried to roll out of it. He rolled in there. So that would just mean Ramazan Amid had like a back take. He tried to get out. He kind of did, and then just got caught, I believe, in a darce, and then ended up getting out of there and then KOing Ramazan Amid in that fight. But even the Angelusa fight, people say he was taken down and controlled. I think in the third round, he was actually finally taken down and controlled after he was super tired. But before then, he was doing a really good job getting out of those positions. And even in that third round, he's able to get out of that position pretty well. But before then, one time I think in the second round, the only time Angelusa got top control was when he slipped on a knee, and that was about it. So he pretty much dominated that fight. I wouldn't say dominated because there was points of top control, but Jack Della Maddalena looked really good in that fight in general, which is why a lot of people are paper crowning him as the future welterweight champion, which I don't disagree with. I think that's a different discussion, but I think he's definitely out there. But he has to get past Sean Brady. Sean Brady's a really big test here. Really dominant grappler and wrestler. Very good grappling in general. I think he might be able to see, this is the issue here. It just depends on who strikes first at this point. If Sean Brady's able to get a takedown and control him and wrestle him on the ground with how strong he is, I don't know if you've seen his back. I mean, he's got some crazy tattoos in general, but he has a massive back. I think that's why he's able just to wrestle some of these guys. He's so strong. You even saw, like Chiesa said it, he's super strong. He's a very strong dude, especially in the wrestling department, and can get a lot of guys down. He couldn't really get Bilal Muhammad down. I think he just trusted his stand-up in general, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I think he shot for the takedowns a little too early. But for this fight, it's kind of who strikes first, in my opinion. It is a 3-round fight, so I think this kind of does benefit both of these guys. Sean Brady's gas tank has kind of been an issue. We didn't really get to see too much of the gas tank in his last fight, because he said that apparently he works really hard on his cardio. A lot of the teammates say he works really hard on his cardio, and it's not really a deficiency in general. So we'll kind of see if this does get to like the third round, how the cardio will go. But we have seen Sean Brady kind of wear off a little bit more in the fights. I don't know what the issue is there. He said he fixed his nose and that was an issue. I guess we'll kind of find out here. But Jack Della Maddalena, we haven't really seen him get into the third round other than that Angelusa fight. He did get a little tired in that matchup, but he had a lot of output in general. But for this one, I think I'm going to edge it to Jack Della Maddalena in this one. I was pretty confident Jack Della Maddalena, and I remembered how just the last fight kind of put me off a little bit on Sean Brady. I think he's really good fighter and wrestler in general. I was a really big fan of Sean Brady, but I just think Jack Della Maddalena is just going to be able to catch him in general. Jack Della Maddalena has insane power in his hands. I think he's just going to be able to avoid some of those bad positions. I think he's just going to go in there quick and just try to catch Sean Brady. I'm a little bit questionable on Sean Brady's chin at this point, and I don't know. I don't trust him after that loss to Bilal Muhammad in general. I do really like Sean Brady, so if he does get a win here, it is a massive win over a really good prospect in the welterweight division, and I think a lot of people will change on him immediately. But I think Jack Della Maddalena just ends up just catching him. He just has insane power, insane precision in his hands, like really crisp boxing that you don't really see in the UFC, especially in the welterweight division. That's why I just think he's going to just clean house. And I think he is going to be the champion one day because he is super young and he's doing this. But in general, in the first round, I just think, I don't know, I can just see Maddalena striking first and just getting him before he goes in for a takedown. And even if he goes in for a takedown, every round starts on the feet, and Jack Della Maddalena is insanely dangerous there. So maybe he's going to be able to control Jack Della Maddalena on the ground for 3 rounds, and this isn't anything we talk about here, but in all honesty, I think Jack Della Maddalena, insane power, insane precision, really good head movement in general, really good movement in general to avoid some of the strikes. We'll see how he is against a very dominant wrestler. I think that's what a very big test is for this matchup. So I am going to go with Jack Della Maddalena here by first round TKO KO in this matchup. I just think the power is just too much. I think he gets it done over Sean Brady. If Sean Brady does win this, though, he has a very solid chance at winning this fight. It definitely turns a lot of people's opinions about him around, because a lot of people were saying he's a little chinny. A lot of people were saying he gasses out. We'll see how he does in this matchup, but I am going to go with Jack Della Maddalena in this one. Let me know who you guys think will win in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.